YouTube. Dog Green 1990 here with my One Piece live review of 1078. I've already kind of spoiled myself the chapter, but I do want to review it. There's a lot in this chapter. As always, I'll break it down in pacing, character, story. I'm going to read for you, and then I'll discuss my thoughts on it, and then I'll go through each part. This is a setup chapter. So, escape limit. German 66, Cold-Blooded Voyage, Volume 33, Neo Mads was formed. So Caesar and Judge are now working together. And a lot of people kind of suspected essentially that a new Mads would be formed. So essentially we're going to see probably Queen at some point get rescued or join them. And it'll be kind of like a complete evil version essentially of Mads. You'll have Vegapunk, wherever he's at, still doing his thing. And then you'll have essentially Neo purely probably focusing on weapons. Lab interior Egghead, the island of the future. Uncle Kazar is coming here. Second floor, building B, Stussy. That's right. CP0 was meant to wait for his arrival after eliminating the doctor. The government's pulling out all the stops, huh? Indeed, I think they consider this to be far more severe than Ohio. Personal opinion, just with everything setting up, when you had the formation of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, there was idea of an incident in the future where they would meet. This to me would be a perfect opportunity to bring in the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. I don't know if they will, but this would be perfect to really kind of show that Luffy is a emperor and that he's got his backing. For one, the doctor not only continued the scholarship and research, he's taken it much further. I would be curious to see exactly what he found and how far he's taken it, what exactly it led to. Second, unlike O'Hara, Egghead actually has formidable combative and defensive capabilities. It does, but we haven't really seen it, in my opinion, a lot. We've seen some, but nothing to the extent we're talking about, I feel. When you put it like that, it's no surprise they're coming loaded for Bear. Translation, I have to wonder, or we'll find out later, or forward, or forbearing, like bad news, maybe. Call if there's any developments. All the other transponders in the lab stratum are down. Factory A, Factory room. You heard the lady. The Navy's going to try to repeat history here, so learn from it. You can't afford to hesitate. Pair the ships. We need to get off the island quickly before the Marines show. So, yes, we see Stussy kind of in Jinbei, but I still feel like this is. So we have two parts here. We have the lab interior, and then we have the second floor building B. Briefly, but I still consider that two parts. We jump to third floor lab building, which a lot of people kind of suspected Frankie is half stone. I thought he kind of had some movement in his body, but he literally got that's it. Damn, brat! If my right side been frozen solid, my left can still pack a punch. If you repent, I'll let you off easily. Lilith, Usopp. Uh-oh. What? Snake, who urged you to do this? Crush, Pythagoras. Another thing that throws me off is they've tried telling them to stop, and if it is one of the Vegapunks, it should have worked unless there's a override, is what I have to be thinking. Kaboom. Explosion. I think nothing. Yeah, wait, I said wait. Second floor, building A. It's now under four parts. All those screams explosion, however, everyone's alright. I tried checking. It seems the Seraphim are running amok. You're mistaken. That doesn't make any sense. One thing's for sure. When Nami screams, certain someone will always dash to her in an instant. Phew. We should focus. I bet everyone's pinned down. Since they're all fighting, what if something happens to Vegapunk's main body while they're distracted? Ah, good point. That reminds me, there's room that's been sealed off for a while, and I wrote off since the place isn't very useful. Maybe we should go check. Lead the way, Atlas. You got it. I like kind of that everyone's kind of realizing where Vegapunk and others could be. They're heading to that direction. And then we jump to third floor, building A. Edison, hang in there. Well, I'm off to scout for Vegapunk. I'm off to scout for Vegapunk. Wait, Sanji, look out! Jinbei essentially a shark straight up Evil Germa hits him in the face. Germa double six tag. No, Junar, you say, tell me that it hasn't picked up on his squirrely, his eyebrows swirly. Don't act so surprising. This is the undying power of love. No, it's Germa. 4-4 building 8. So we essentially had 4, we have 5, now we have 6. We are flying. Damn flames. Why aren't their backs going out? Forget that. Where the heck did that Hawkeye looking guy go? He must have ran off. Odds are he's regrouped. Reprioritize the order of his target. He could be focusing on thinning the herd, saving the toughest for last, eliminating your weaker friends. You would rattle your stronger fighters and handicap them. I'll chase them down. Zoro! Quick, go out and help him. Usopp forgets. I love this. Usopp's like, you're Usopp. He's like, I'm not Usopp. Slow down, Roro. Gum. And who are you calling Usopp? Hat got me. Blast off her. Use your pathetic waste. Doesn't matter how times you try him, it won't work. And then we switch to kind of merge or a flashback, if you will. So 7. Only one day remains before the infamous Egghead incident. However, the wheels of this tale were set in motion 3 months ago. You see someone crying. 3 months prior to the Holy Land murder. This is Egghead coming. I want to speak to someone with power. Dr. Vegapunk is researching the Void Century. CP agents were dispatched to verify this tip, but their inspection revealed nothing. And their ship mysteriously disappeared as it attempted to leave Egghead. CP-7, 8 were both deployed to shed light on the situation. No government ships returned from Egghead. This is Egghead again. Put me through to the top brass. Conversation between the 5 elders and this individual totally exposed the full extent of the genius scientist's treachery. And so the elders decided to order Dr. Vegapunk's assassination. It fell to Cypherpole Aegis 0 to execute the mission. However, the 5 elders anticipated that Vegapunk would resist, so they sent one of their own, escorted by Admiral Kizaru. They also reinforced the fleet they deployed with backup from several naval bases. The caution level raised to total war imminent. So pretty much they're treating this as a war. So that's why it's like everyone's going there. Essentially, the world government is declaring war on Egghead. Then the sudden and unexpected appearance of Emperor Straw Hat's Luffy's ship, Emperor Straw Hat, left the government forces feeling more than a little disquieted by this completion. What, did you say Straw Hat? Yeah, you see his lovely little face. In any case, this chain of events is going to culminate tomorrow, and the outcome will shock the world. I still say this is 7, even though they kind of have different parts, because to me it's the flashback itself. And then we zoom to the last piece, which is 8. So I would say a little complicated, not bad, but you're jumping around with the fighting quick, short, to the point. This was all you're doing? What the devil? Answer me. Why are you doing this? Oh, Stella. It's 'cause I want to be a celestial dragon. A YouTuber I follow, King of Lightning, really suspected, maybe from one of his people suspected followers, that it was York and essentially that her eating and pooping was all an act. That's kind of where I feel we're at. What are you saying, York? You know what Mary Joyce is like from that time visit a long time ago. So they've been up there. Or his visit up there, they have his memories. How could you want to be one of them after witnessing just how vile they are? Ha ha ha, you sound just like Shaka. Well, not so much. He's dead now. Ha ha ha. It's hard to keep track of all his Vegapunks, right? Honestly, the world doesn't need more than one of us. The embodiment of unfettered desire leaves the shadows. So she pretty much wants to eliminate and leave one Vegapunk. Review real quick, jumping right in. There's essentially 8 parts. I really feel that the little part with literally Nami's bit like that is short. And the little part with Stussy talking, it's important, but I feel like those parts, the 2 major parts, could be left out because everything else, I think, if you took it essentially to 6 parts, it would be better. Pacing 5. Typically, to me, I would say this is a 3. I want to say 2.5, but I still feel for pacing, it's not bad. Character wise, I'll get to your work at the end. I want to say a little for Sentimar because he really kind of pushes the idea of, hey, get out. He's kind of taking control. He's like, Uncle Kazar's on the way. Don't have a choice. I have to save you guys. So more for his character. Atlas, the fact that she's this, or no, that would go more story. So character, Robin, because she figures out Sanji's going to save them, essentially Nami's group, so she's not too worried. Sanji with his durability. Lucci with the fact that the Seraphim Mihawk essentially is going off, and he realizes that they're going after the weaker people to go essentially to attack the stronger morale. So acknowledging that Luffy and Zoro and Sanji essentially are stronger. And then you have essentially Kaku essentially going in kind of listening to Luffy, but not liking being called Usopp. I like that. And then York. Mastermind. She's been scheming this for major 3 months and essentially leading up to kind of creating this big incident. I have two questions with it. What's the point of the agents? And why couldn't the others override her ability? If York is a Vegapunk, Shaka should be here, Elder's here. So when they tell them it should disavow the orders given, but it didn't, or they didn't show they were close enough to actually listen. That was the thing I could think of. Story. Neomads being formed, I think, is huge. That's big. They have a new group. It's going to lead to some major stuff. I like that. And the fact that scientists, or sorry, so for character, I would say 4. There's some solid stuff, but nothing major except for York and Lucci. Those are the two major ones for characters. So to me, 4, 7 so far. So, story. Neomads. Tomorrow telling people to get off the island. So I could see them getting off the island as government's coming in, blowing up these ships. You have Atlas, Robin, and Chopper going to where essentially Shaka and York are. And I could see Chopper possibly helping or saving Shaka. Possibly. Don't know, but possible. For leading the story. You have Sanji showing off his durability, which to the fact that it demonstrates true that he is one of the strong ones and they can't just defeat him. I have to have Seraphim team up. You have Kaku and Zoro going off to help the other people. Lucci and Lucci and Luffy staying to defeat Bear. The flashback essentially of Marriage of why everything was happening. Different agents released. Lucci, and then the reason why the elders are coming. In fact, that this essentially the amount of ships are sending is essentially for a full-blown war. And then the fact that York is a traitor and that she wants to be a celestial dragon, that's huge. And there's a lot with that. So I would say story, honestly, 5 out of 5. Yes, it's still set up, but there's a little action. And I like that. So 12 out of 15. Not bad. Would have liked less pacing. And then character, I feel there's some stuff. But aside from the York and Lucci, not a whole lot. Story, major setup. I'm excited to see what the next chapter is. The leanness coalition. So my biggest takeaway is I would like to see the Grand Fleet show up. I could definitely see them be used here. So this has been Jolly Green, 1990s review of One Piece 1078 Escape Limit by YouTube.